What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be removing my IS300 Diff. We're going to get it welded, so...
What we got going on here right now?
Well, we're trying to get these Allen bolts out. They're 8 all the way around. And I think there's about 8 of them on each side. These things are notorious for rusting, and if you don't have the right equipment, then they're gonna round out. Thankfully for me, I had a glorious man lend me a nice socket, so I was able to remove them without rounding them out. I don't guess Toyo's not thinking on what bolts they put in here. As you can see up here, this one right here is starting to round out.
I think the reason they put in the Allens is because you can't get a whole socket here if you put an actual bolt.
I don't know.
Because there's so little clearance around here.
Yeah, it had to be a small bolt. I don't know. Either way, we're gonna get it out. So first we got to start by removing these, and then after I know, the reason we're doing these first is to know that we can get them out because they're such an issue. Because if we can't get them out, there's no point in removing anything else. It just pack it up, time for another day. So remove these first to see if they'll get out. Then we'll remove the drive shaft, and then we'll take out the sway bar, drop it. We'll get the Allen bolts up in here. And once we do that, we'll drop these two and put them on dead man, and then pick it up and then take it off by hand. And then once we get there, we can take off all the bolts right here, and we can clean up the RTV and everything like that. We can get it ready for some welds. Let's see, I got the 8 mil right here, 3-inch extension, an adapter for my big ol' 1/2 inch. Barely, but he's coming out. Wiggle that thing out. Go ahead, put it right here. Get it in there. Trusty special tool. Your special tool and make it work. See, that's no good. That means that it's too tight.
That is crazy.
That is crazy. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this out. I already have the socket pressed in, so we're gonna remove this 3/8. We're gonna go to here. We're gonna lower the car, and we're gonna see if we can get the e-brake any tighter. Because if not, that wheel's not coming off unless we have some way to hold this wheel in place.
Honestly, guys, I really think it's a skill issue. I did this in my SC, no problem on the ground.
Pretty good luck. Now, if that don't hold it, I don't know what will. I do need to tighten the e-brake up while I'm here, actually, because my e-brake is really loose. It's been like that for a very long time before I bought the car, and I've owned this car for like 7 years. So.
By the way, if you guys are wondering, here's Zach's official alignment sheet right here. He's got -8 degrees of camber in the front. I think he's crazy, and then the rear is completely wonky. He needs to fix that, but dude, that front is insane.
So I finally got the other one loose. It took a lot of persuasion. Now we're gonna see if this one comes loose. If you don't make the grunts, it won't come loose.
Trust got a strong man right here.
You say that. I think that's it on this side, guys. So we got this side down. We're gonna work on the other side now. I've already gotten half of them off, and we'll see if we can't get this diff out. All right, now that we got it all beat in, that's another thing. If you haven't noticed, you have to beat the socket in there, because if not, the Allen stands about that long inside of that wall, and if you only get this much in, then it's not gonna have enough clamping pressure of how tight these are in the rust. So it's gonna end up snapping your either your socket if you have a weak socket, or if you got in here, the walls will start to maul out, so they'll be completely rounded out if you don't have it deep enough in there. Like that. Nice and easy. It's coming out easier than I thought. I mean, granted, we got a lift and a nice tool, but for people doing it at home, it's gonna be a lot harder. Don't let that discourage you, but it's gonna be a lot harder for you to do, due to the fact that 1, you don't have leverage, and 2, it's gonna be harder to get an expensive tool like this. But if you do it, I do recommend getting a snap-on tool. It's an 8 mil Allen key, and please don't try to use a normal Allen key out of a warehouse build set. It's not gonna work. Look at that. This has been in this car for 21 years.
I think you dropped something.
This right here are all the axle bolts. As you can see right here, we've already went ahead and cleaned this thread out. So you can see how clean this one is compared to like this one. Has a bunch of stuff in it. What that can do is it can start to mess up your threads in your engine. Also, it's going to be a lot harder to go in and out. So we're going to take our time and we're going to lube these up and thread all of these out with a tap and die kit to make sure that all the threads are good. All right, so bring it over here. Plug it down a little bit. Going to stick it in the hole, run it through. There you go.
That's a brand new bolt right there.
Just like that, brand new bolt. Kind of started threading a new thread though on the top, as you can see, but it'll be all right.
So something that's pretty important. Whenever you're taking out your differential, you usually want to start by taking out the drive shaft, because the drive shaft won't move if the e-brake's on, because they'll be connected to the axles. But if you take off the axles first, then the drive shaft isn't going to be stopped by anything. So now our big strong man over here is going to have to manhandle it to get the bolts off.
I'm gonna put the bolts back in.
All right, so we got 2 bolts out right now.
Now I gotta spin it over. You're gonna pull the e-brake again so the drive shaft locks up, and you're gonna get out the other 2 bolts.
Let's go do that. All right, guys, I'm climbing up into the legendary IS300 right now. Oh, shoot. About just knocked the camera out of my hand. Pull the handbrake down.
Look it up!
Locking the handbrake up.
I'm gonna show you how to do this. You ready? These are torqued down to tight, really tight. So when you do it, what I do is I just get it as tight as physically possible, but don't snap your bolts. Good advice.
What size are these bolts?
It's gonna be a 14 on both ends. You want 2 14 wrenches to get them off. It's gonna be a nut and a bolt with a washer. The washer and bolt go on the drive shaft side, and then the nut goes by itself on the diff side. And if you want to look at your IS300, if you have one, and see what kind of diff you have in it, the M96 is going to be the automatic transmission open differential, but my car is manual swap. So that means that the gearing compared from the manual transmission to this is going to make it a little bit quicker, and you're going to be sitting higher at RPMs on the interstate. So if you do want to make your car a little bit faster, do a manual swap, 1, or 2. If you do have a manual car already, take out the manual open diff and put in an auto open diff. If you do want the low end speed, and it's better for sliding as well because of the shorter gear ratios. All right, there goes our last bolt. So now we're going to take out these 2 carrier bearing bolts right here up top. They're going to be 2 14s. They're going to be pretty long bolts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my impact. I'm going to hang it up there with a bunch of extensions and just drill it right out.
The one and only David Milik. What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
Staying busy.
You ready to weld a diff?
Always ready to work.
Dude, we're gonna weld this and we're gonna get to sliding tonight.
Let's do it.
Unfortunately, the way Lexus designed these, even on my SC, you have to remove the sway bar to get to these bolts for the diff. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock out these real quick. It's just a 12. But I got an extension on this. Grab that one out. There we go. I have the whole bracket right here. And this is out of the way enough now to get to those bolts.
Oh, this is being a problem.
So the rear diff bolts are 12 for an Allen, and the issue is that they're so close to the spare tire well. You can actually get one bolt out, so I'm gonna see how He takes out the next two now.
But I would have to.
The diff is
immediately go.
jumping. I repeat, we do need a thing because the diff is jumping.
Yeah, you gotta need to support it now.
Watch the metal come out of this thing.
See how good this looks.
Dude, imagine nothing comes out. Squeezing. Oh, that's from all the one wheel peels. That's what one wheel peels will get you.
Ooh.
Yikes. Wheel peels.
So this little machine, it doesn't really work for some reason. You're supposed to hook up an air line, but it's not holding hydraulic pressure at all, so it's not going up. So we're bringing this car down, putting the diff right on top of this, and we're gonna wiggle it out and then raise the car back up. Second bolt out.
Oh, that should be it.
All the bolts back here are out now, and front bolts for the diff are out, so we should just be able to move this out of the way now.
We're gonna have to get a pry bar. All right. There he is. No. I'm gonna go raise the lift. Keep it easy.
Look at that. IS300 Diff out.
We're gonna take off the cover. David, would you like to be my assistant? I'm gonna get a good grip on this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 14 mil bolts. They do have red Loctite on there from factory, but I'm not gonna put Loctite when I put it back in because I have this. There she goes.
Never mind.
And secret reveal.
Let's look inside of it.
Dirty. Now, what we're gonna do, you're gonna grab yourself some non-chlorine, floor foam, whatever, brake cleaner. And, give it a rinse. And you're probably gonna need about 2 to 3 cans of brake cleaner when you do this.
So David, what's the secret to welding a diff?
Get it as tight as possible inside the spider gears.
I see you're cutting out cardboard pieces. What's that for?
That is for this plate. So I can get the plate as tight as I can on the inside, and just getting it perfect, nice and perfect. And then I'm gonna sand it and grind it down to a perfect fit. This diff is a little hurt, but we're gonna mitigate it and make it last as long as possible. You look, this diff is a little hurt.
That's what happened to my SC diff.
So we're gonna pull it out as much as we can, and we're gonna force it as much as we can on the inside and get a very, very tight fit so it doesn't move in and inside and out.
Dang, look at all that smoke.
This is how you weld a diff. What you want is you want 2 plates on your diff with 2 big holes in there so the fluid can slosh around and get to the other side. Because if not, you're going to run into a lot of problems. Now, yeah, you can just weld the spider gears itself, but that's not going to hold up to big power. The plan with this car is to eventually either throw my other motor in it, or more than likely I'm going to turbo this one stock until it gives up, and while I'm building my other one, and then go about 550 wheel. So it's going to need to handle, and this is how you do it.
Look at that. The diff's all loaded up now.
Yes,
What you
sir.
think, David? You think it's good?
Yeah. Oh, looks good.
It looks good. think Zach's about to clean up with a wire wheel or something.
Yep.
Should turn out really shiny and really good. The surface all around here is all cleaned up. David, what we got going on right here?
We are polishing and cleaning the backing plates.
Now, I've heard of pre-filling oil filters, but why are you pre-filling your diff?
Because we don't have the pump for that little thing, so I'm just gonna put it in there, see what it does. See if I can get it pre-filled.
It's gonna be so heavy to lift up now. That's a thick layer of bead you're laying down right there.
Gotta make sure it don't leak.
Is that right?
I think so. Hi. We're professionals, by the way.
We
You're
are
the people that
professionals.
work on your cars.
We got the uniforms on there. Webb. That's how you know he's professional. He uses his last name only.
Right there.
Welded diff's installed. We got tires spinning, so clearly it seems to be working. What do you think, Zach?
Good.
You think it's working?
Time to find out.
Yeah, so everything's back in. Torque specs basically tight, very tight, very tight. And then drive shaft tight.
Pretty much.
Yeah. What do you say we take this outside, see how it feels?
I agree.
Let's get do it.
Alright guys, that's pretty much it. We got the Lexus all welded up. Excited to drive it. We're gonna have a lot more content coming soon. Maybe this weekend we're gonna have a lot of good content coming soon. We're gonna whip something up for you. We got the whips right here, as you can see. It's a maintenance. That's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you next time.